Morning guys, have a fun video to show you today, insofar that this type of saw is really, its performance is unexpected when people see it run. So this is for my Poulan, one of the Poulan Micros, the XXV. There's quite a number of variations for this saw. So this was a slightly later version, made from I think 76 on up to the early 80s. So this saw's anywhere between, what does that make this one? 76, so anywhere between 47 down to 30, 42 down to 37. Okay, 37 to 42 years old, this particular saw. So this is the 32cc variation, and it's running a 12-inch bar, solid nose unusually. And what people didn't realise is that in its day, they genuinely were one of the fastest cutting saws in this size of saw. And the construction on them is fantastic. It's all magnesium alloy all the way around, even though it looks a little bit plasticky and lime green. And it's running a 3/8 pitch chain, low profile. So I'll show it starting and running. They run beautifully, and I guess the only the difference is they made on some of the earlier ones, they'd learnt by this stage. So they started life, I think, as a 33 or a 34, I can't remember, and then they go all the way up to a super variation, which is a 38cc with marginally more power and can run a slightly bigger bar. So this one's running a 12-inch. So I'll show it cutting some timber, I'll show it restarting, and it runs really, really well. It's a beautiful saw. And they're surprisingly loud. Kill switch. Hey guys, so I hope that does that some type of justice as to just how flexible some of these older saws are. And I think the mistake people can make in their thinking, and I've certainly made it myself, is that these older saws didn't have any of the EPA regulations, so they're not baffled in throttle like some of the smaller or some of the newer engines, and so the smaller engines perform far better than you'd imagine. So that's cutting 15-inch timber, and I've cut some of this exact same timber with a Husky, a 136. I've used a 141 on it, and the performance is not dissimilar. So they're a beautiful old saw, really, really beautiful. I think they have a very unusual chain oiling system as well, which I can't seem to confirm because it's very hard to get the documentation, but it seems as though the chain oiler works on a pressurized system as a pump, as opposed to a pump, because when you open up the oil tank, you hear the release of pressure. So I presume that's how that works. It pressurizes the oil tank and it forces the oil out across the chain oiler. So whenever I've finished starting this one, I undo the lid, release the pressure, then it doesn't drip so much oil. Okay, I'll quickly show it on a restart. Kill switch. Okay guys, thanks for watching. I think they're beautiful little saws, just completely deceptive when you look at them. Very lightweight as well. I think they weigh around the 8.5 pound mark, maybe even a frac, but about 8.5 pounds all up weight. No brakes on the saw as far as I can tell, and chain seems reasonably sharp. It certainly cut the 15-inch timber well, and this 6 or 7-inch timber very, very cleanly. Quick view of the underside, and it'll have a bit of a clean before it goes back out. So that's my Poulan Micro XXV Vintage chainsaw up for spares or repair on eBay. Thanks for watching, and like I say, anybody want to come out and take a look, you'd be more than welcome. And they really are a beautiful little garden saw, so the type of thing that's so small to keep in the garage, and yet even if you've got 15, even probably bigger, you could probably go up to 20-inch timber. If you were in a push, you could definitely use it to cut. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.